on Bikkurim, Perek Bet, Mishnah Hey, 5th Mishnah in the 2nd chapter of Bikkurim. In the previous Mishnah, we've been dealing with how some halachot or some categories are compared to others. This has been the theme of all the Mishnah until now in Perek Bet. And now we're the Mishnah Hey is the last Mishnah in this series of comparing Truma and Bikkurim. So now we have the last one we're going to talk about. We did Truma and Bikkurim to Ma'aser Sheni. Now we're going to talk about Terumat Ma'aser. Just to remind you, Terumat Ma'aser is the Truma that the Levi has to give from his Ma'aser. The 1/10 that the Levi has to give from his Ma'aser that goes to the Kohen, and his din of a Truma. So the Mishnah says, Terumat Ma'aser shaveh lebikurim b'shtei drachim. Uli Truma b'shtei drachim. Terumat Ma'aser is like Bikkurim in 2 ways, and it's like Truma in 2 ways. What are they? Nitalet min hatahor al hatameh, v'shalom min hamukaf. Okay, Terumat Ma'aser and Bikkurim. Let's talk about Bikkurim for a second. What does it mean, min hamukaf? Min hamukaf means, this is a concept we learned with regard to Truma. We said that Truma can only be taken on something min hamukaf, from one adjacent to the other. I can't take Truma, for example, on my produce off of my lemons here, and then say, well, I'm designating for my lemons in Yerushalayim. I'm in Yad Binyamin. Okay, I can't do that. It has to be min hamukaf. Min hamukaf means from the adjacent or associated, connected, really geographically connected produce. But Bikkurim can be taken shalom min hamukaf. I can take, let's say I have Bikkurim, I got trees, all over the place in Yad Binyamin, in Beit Chilkiah, and in near Yerushalayim, and I take Bikkurim on my trees. I can designate from here on all of my fruit, no matter what. The example, similarly, because Truma could not be taken min hamukaf, shalom min hamukaf, Truma had to be taken min hamukaf, Chazal also made a gzeira that we saw in Masechet Trumot and a lot of different examples, that you cannot take min hatahor al hatameh. If I have tameh fruit, I can't then go ahead and say, you know what, leave that fruit, that tameh fruit on the side. I'll take Truma from tahor and tameh. And then I'll give the tahor Truma to the Kohen. And it would solve a lot of problems. Chazal made a gzeira, you said you couldn't do that because they were afraid if you could take min hatahor al hatameh, you would also take shalom min hamukaf, which you're not allowed to do, which is pasul. And that led to all kinds of problems that the Mishnah had to solve in Masechet Trumot. You can go look it up there. So therefore, we learned that Bikkurim can be taken min hatahor al hatameh and can be taken min hamukaf. Really, they go the other way around. Since it can be taken, shalom min hamukaf, from something that's not necessarily connected or not close, I can also take min hatahor al hatameh. I can do that both for Bikkurim and for Terumat Ma'aser. Okay? Because we said, one second, that which we said, ain't Truma nitalet min hatahor al hatameh. Okay, because we learned about in mukaf. Those halachot are connected. Okay, so this doesn't apply to Terumat Ma'aser, and it also doesn't apply to Bikkurim. Now that's how it's like. That is how Terumat Ma'aser is like Bikkurim. Ke Bikkurim. Those halachot are like Bikkurim. But Terumat Ma'aser is oseret et hagoren. That which we learned halachot in previous Mishnayot. Oseret et hagoren means the whole goren is asur until you take off Terumat Ma'aser. Like Truma, like Ma'aser. So until the Levi takes off Terumat Ma'aser, he can't benefit from it. And yesh la shiur, it has designated amount. How much? 1/10 of the Ma'aser. So it's 1/100th of the original, 1/100th of the original produce. That's a shiur. Kitruma, just like Truma has a measurement. So let's just go back to our chart. This is the final of my crazy chart. Okay, so we learned. Okay, we have Terumat Ma'aser here. So we said it's nitelet min hatahor al hatameh v'shalom min hamukaf, like Bikkurim, but not like Truma and Ma'aser. Okay, and it's oseret. What do you say? Oseret et hagoren. No, I didn't do it. I need to do that. Okay, oseret. I actually didn't eat oseret min hagoren because we learned that in the previous Mishnah. It's oseret hagoren, like Truma and Ma'aser, and has a shiur. Here we can add it in this chart, like Truma and Ma'aser, but not like Bikkurim. All right, we'll designate this learning to the memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. And if you have comments or questions, I always like getting email. It's always nice to meet new people. Have a good day.